Welcome to this episode of the Juggle Israel podcast. I'm Andryanna, and I'm so grateful that you're taking this time out of your full and very busy life to quite possibly make some really, really important choices and make the decision to move forward with the mindset of progress over perfection. And this might be one of the biggest factors that really helped me to break through and actually start my business, move forward in my career, achieve some of the biggest and loftiest goals that I've ever set for myself. And it wasn't by doing everything and hustling hard and trying to be perfect in every way. In fact, it was quite the opposite. And so this podcast in general is really dedicated to help you find better balance, more ease, more joy amidst the chaos, and really embrace every single day. And so for this episode, I want to look at why embracing a progress over perfection mindset is the best approach, both in your career as well as your family life, your personal life. So I want to look at 5 really important reasons why this mindset is better than the perfection mode. And I want to share some research, some statistics, some important findings, and a few little stories in there. We're going to end with some questions that you can ask yourself if you find yourself getting stuck in that perfectionistic tendency. So if that sounds good to you, let's dive right in.
Hey, I'm Andryanna, and this is the Juggle is Real podcast. As I share my ongoing journey from experiencing burnout to leading a more mindful and intentional life with better balance, I hope you feel seen, that you realize your worth, lighten your load, and prioritize your own needs. As we hear from leading experts and well-known faces in the wellness, entrepreneurship, education, and motherhood space, I hope you gain insights, proven practices, and learn actionable tools to help you enjoy the juggle of work, family, and everything in between with a little less stress and a lot more ease, joy, and fun. Most of all, I hope you find what you need to simplify, streamline, and supercharge your own journey of better balance and self-love. Are you with me? Let's get started.
Before we get into today's episode, I want to share an exclusive but limited time offer that you can enjoy as we celebrate 100 plus episodes of the Juggle is Real podcast. Now, I've been celebrating, I love to celebrate both the big and the small wins, both of my own and of yours, and to show my immense gratitude for your listenership, for your incredible support. I want you to enjoy a discount off of the Juggle is Real Authentic Self-Care Planner. Now, this guide is a 3-month planner that's going to help you in really finding that better balance, in finding joy amidst the chaos, and really enjoying that ease. There is empowering content filled with mindfulness prompts, the goal-setting templates, inspirational short stories that I've written, and this planner really guides you to prioritize your self-care without the guilt. It has this incredible user-friendly design with practical layouts and engaging prompts to make it easy to integrate self-care into your daily routines. And you have all of the support of the Juggle is Real community with you, knowing that other like-minded women are also on this journey to living a more intentional life. So celebrate 100 episodes with me, celebrate all of your small wins, release your guilt, and move into better balance with the Juggle is Real Authentic Self-Care Planner, now with an exclusive discount that is only offered for a very limited time. You can find the Juggle is Real Authentic Self-Care Planner on Amazon, or head to the notes for this podcast episode where there is a link for you to enjoy the discount now. Rediscover the joy of putting yourself first and order your planner today to start that journey. Enjoy a summer with a more balanced and fulfilled life with the Juggle is Real Authentic Self-Care Planner. Now let's get into today's episode. Okay, my friend. So I know you've heard the saying progress over perfection, and I'm sure you may agree with it, or you might wholeheartedly agree with it. You might say you'll do it, or you might think you're doing it, but yet somehow you find yourself hesitating, maybe before you send an email or leaving something in your drafts, or maybe you don't hit publish on that post on social media, or you opt for the easier role that's kind of in the background, or you don't pose for the photo because you don't have your makeup on, or you're not going to jump in the pool with your kids, even though it's a hot day and they're begging you to join them. What does progress over perfection mean? And that's why I wanted to really dive in. And there's going to be 5 key reasons why embracing a life of progress over perfection is going to really serve you in the highest and help you in every aspect of your life. And so I want to get into those 5 key reasons and share some of the research I've found and some of these important statistics that you're going to probably have this mind-blowing moment. And the whole point of this really is for you to take action in small ways, for you to stop holding yourself back for fear of not being perfect, for fear of not doing everything right. And instead, opting to take those small steps every single day to move forward, to maybe feel a little bit of fear, maybe go through that process and understand that on the other side of moving into action is really where you want to be and how you're actually going to achieve the joy and the fulfillment and realize the goals that you are hoping for yourself. Now, before I get into these five key findings and reasons why progress over perfection really is the model you want to be following, I do want to say that when I suggest progress over perfection, I'm not saying to be a pushover. Heck no, have your own standards, okay? Own your power. Do not be a pushover. Do not let people walk all over you, but do not put your life on hold at the expense of striving for perfection. So that's really at the heart of what I want to share today. So let's get into how to embrace it. And perhaps you can find some reasons. I'm going to share 5 reasons why this mindset is really going to serve you. So the number one reason in why you should embrace progress over perfection is because it reduces stress and anxiety. Boom. That alone should be reason enough. Perfectionism is linked to increased stress and anxiety. And according to a study published in the Journal of Personality, and that was in 2006, perfectionism is strongly associated with higher levels of stress and anxiety. And I think we can all agree that when we are trying to be perfect, like even if it's for the family photo, I know that we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. I've talked about it in other episodes where like I was like this big ball of stress. We've got the family photos. Everyone has to look perfect. The shirts have to be tucked in. We have to pretend like we've never had a hair out of place in our entire lives. And that stress, that anxiety, like that radiates and people can feel that. And no one wants to be around a big ball of stress. In fact, that stress can be then dispersed to those around you. And so if you're on edge, if you're feeling this anxiousness, your kids are likely going to pick up on that, your spouse, your friends, your coworkers, and that kind of ups the ante for them to have those feelings as well. So when we're talking about progress over perfection, we're going to reduce our stress and anxiety because instead of trying to make everything perfect, we're going to embrace the small and incremental improvements. We're going to celebrate small wins daily to take that pressure off ourselves. And we've heard from incredible research, some findings, some amazing coaches. What comes to mind is the work of Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy in The Gap and the Gain, which is an incredible book, writing down those wins, looking to what you did accomplish, not what still has to be done, not what you haven't done, but what did you actually do? And embracing those small wins every single day is really what's going to lead to, oh my gosh, so much progress, getting so much more done versus being stuck in that pause, that hold, that waiting until everything's perfect. So, I mean, reason number 1 for embracing a progress over perfection mindset is to reduce your stress and anxiety. Heck yes, I'm here for that. Number 2 is to boost your productivity and efficiency, right? So when we're focusing on progress, we're really going to enhance our productivity because we're actually going to get shit done. We're actually moving forward and doing the thing. We're not waiting until we lose 5 pounds. We're not waiting until that email has the perfect grammar and spelling, and it's been proofread 937 times, and it has the most incredible fact checks. We're moving forward in small ways, incrementally every single day. And actually, a study from the Harvard Business Review found that employees in the workplace who are encouraged to make progress in meaningful work are much more productive and much more creative. Now, this is coming from a study from 2011. So when we think of this, when we think of, oh my God, the to-do list is so long, I have so much to do, I don't know how I'm going to get everything done. Are you holding yourself back with this perfectionistic tendency? Can you boost your productivity and efficiency by actually embracing progress? It might not be perfect. You might not get it all right, but you're learning as you go. And as you take that one small step forward, all of the answers are going to be shown for the next step. So oftentimes we can get stuck in like, well, I don't know how I'm going to get to the end result. How am I going to accomplish all of this? Or how am I going to reach my goal? Well, you don't know how you're going to get to the end result because maybe you've never done it before. But what is one small thing that you can do now that's going to get you a little bit closer? And I'll share because we're celebrating 100 plus episodes. We're in episode 101. How great is that? If I didn't have this progress over perfection mindset, like there's no chance. I would probably still be writing and rewriting episodes and trying to do it perfectly and trying to save my money to afford the best and most expensive equipment and maybe convert a room in my home into a podcast studio. I would have never gotten it off the ground if I was waiting for everything to be perfect. And I know I've shared this before, and you can go back to episode 1. Like it is, I mean, it's somewhat embarrassing. It's a little cringe, as my nieces might say, if I go back and I listen to episode 1, 2, and like a lot of those initial episodes, but I friggin' did it. And in recording episode 1, I had the old iPhone earbuds. They were corded. I had to like plug it into my laptop. I was using like the mic that was attached to the headphones. None of this was professional. None of this was super polished. I had written a short story and I actually just read out the short story. That was episode 1 of the Juggle is Real podcast. It actually wasn't even called the Juggle is Real because that handle wasn't available on social media. So I chose a different name. Then I came to my senses and I realized, well, that's the name that I want for my podcast. So-and-so can have the Juggle is Real handle for whatever they're doing, which I think is nothing. I'm going to call my podcast what I want to call my podcast. And it doesn't matter what social media handle I use, right? That's why I use Andryanna G, because who cares what the handle is, right? So you can boost your productivity and your efficiency when you take those small steps. So what can we do? What are some practical ways that we can embrace this? Well, it's great to have those big, huge, lofty, hairy C-type goals that we don't know how the heck we're going to do. But alongside that, we should also be setting small goals for ourselves. I like to put down a list of things that I would like to accomplish in a week and setting those achievable goals, tracking the progress, and then breaking those tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces. Those steps that we can take is what's going to move the needle forward. So what can we do instead of waiting till everything's perfect? Well, we can boost our productivity and our efficiency by focusing on progress. Okay. Number 3, what is another benefit of progress over perfection? It's not just helping us in our business, in our careers, it's enhancing our relationships, enhancing our family life. Perfectionism really can strain our relationships and it can strain our family life. And actually, the research coming from the University of Georgia indicates that perfectionistic parents can negatively impact their children's emotional well-being. This comes from a study that was done in 2013. And I think in my life of how sometimes I have perhaps done this in my family life or done this in my relationships or held myself back and not done something that I wanted to do with a friend or with a family member or with my family because I was kind of waiting for things to be perfect. So what can we do to embrace progress within our relationships, within our family life? I think one of the most important things that we can do as parents, as leaders, with our spouse is to be vulnerable, to show and to share that we make mistakes and to say sorry and apologize when we do make mistakes. I know that for me, I can really focus on what has to be done, and the house might be messy, or we might have to get to something, to school or to hockey or to something on time. And so that when I'm focused on that model, sometimes things can get a little bit harried and I'm not acting from my highest good. So showing that vulnerability, letting my kids know, letting my spouse know I made a mistake, I was out of line, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have yelled, and being vulnerable can really help your friends, your family members, your children understand that being vulnerable is okay, that no one is perfect. Not your mom, not your best friend, not your wife or your husband or your spouse or your boss or your anyone. No one is perfect. And so when we can share, oops, I made a mistake and own up to it, be vulnerable, then that allows the people in our lives to do the same. And so that can help us to focus on the quality time, not, the substance, not like making everything perfect, actually looking to those genuine connections, actually saying like, okay, there's dishes in the sink, but let's go for a rollerblade. The dishes can wait. Let's go play street hockey, or let's go read that book, or showing your children that not everything has to be picture perfect, which is going to allow them to understand that it's okay if they may make mistakes, or it's okay for them to embrace progress themselves. And that leads us into point number 4, which is the fourth benefit for adopting a progress over perfection mindset. And really, when we do this, we encourage a growth mindset in children, in our children. And I'll say that the focus for this point is really on our kids, but it's helping everyone around us. And so if you're in a leadership position, you're really showing this yourself. So when you're modeling progress over perfection, wherever you are, it really it fosters a mindset of growth. And this is especially important in kids. Now, Carol Dweck, she's done some incredible research. Some of that has been on growth mindset, and it shows that children who understand the value of putting effort forth over their innate ability, right? So we're not born perfect. We're not born to be able to do all these things. Children who understand the value of effort over ability are more resilient and more successful. So when we can model progress over perfection, we're showing our kids that, yes, we might make a mistake, but we are learning in that process. And every step is making us better and better. And that leads us to being more resilient. That leads us to being more successful. Dweck's work was done in 2006, these particular research findings, but it really snowballs. So when it comes to adopting progress over perfection with our children, let's praise the effort, right? Not just the outcome, not whether they did it perfectly, not whether everything was done according to how you expected it to be done, but let's praise the effort that was put forth. Did they try? Were they doing their best? Were they giving that honest effort? And encourage your children to try new things, to learn from their failures. And again, seeing you do this is probably much, much more effective when you are modeling this behavior. But the praise and celebrating their small wins, encouraging them to do things that they have no idea how to do, cheering them on along the way, that is going to show them that they can learn new things, that they can be successful as they take things one step at a time. And we're encouraging them to have this growth mindset, which isn't going to help them just in childhood. I mean, that is something that they're going to take with them into the rest of their lives. And adopting this growth mindset is really, really going to help them in every aspect of their life. Okay, So we've got 4 amazing benefits why you're going to adopt a progress over perfection mindset in your life. The 5th one really is kind of just this umbrella, because when we look to progress, we're really promoting long-term success in our life, in our careers, in everything. But when we're embracing progress, it's really leading to sustainable growth, sustainable career growth, especially. So when we look to the study done in the Journal of Vocational Behavior, this was done in 1999. This research found that employees who adopt a progress-focused mindset are more likely to achieve long-term career success. If you do something or you don't think you can do it and you just stop right away, you're not going to apply for that promotion. You're not going to put your hat in the ring. You're not going to start that business because you're worried that you won't be able to do everything perfectly. You don't have all the answers. You don't know how to do everything right now. Well, that doesn't really bode well for long-term success, right? But when we are embracing progress, we're continuously seeking development opportunities, learning opportunities. We are really lifelong learners. And as we adopt this progress over perfection mindset, we're setting realistic milestones for ourselves. We can adapt as needed. And we're looking ahead with this mindset of growth, with this mindset of, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it would be amazing. And so I'm going to take one small step forward today, knowing that tomorrow I'm going to take another step. And this is what really leads to this long-term success. And so I'll come back to this road to 100 podcast episodes. Honestly, I never knew when I started out where the podcast would take me. I didn't know that I would start a business from this. I didn't know that it would land me on national television and regular appearances on different television shows. I didn't know that I would develop this self-care planner and journal to support busy people in setting intentional goals and making better balance a daily occurrence. I didn't know what was possible. But in taking that step, I was able to set myself up for longer term success, knowing that I'm moving forward. So I hope that this helps you. I know that looking to these benefits of reducing stress and anxiety, boosting productivity and efficiency, enhancing your relationships, encouraging growth mindset in your children, and promoting long-term success in your life and your career, this sounds great, but it's truly, truly up to you to take the action and to look to those small steps and celebrating those wins every single day. So as we close out, I want to share some really important questions that you can ask yourself. If maybe you find yourself holding yourself back, I mean, awareness is the first and key and most important step. So if you feel like, I want to move into progress, but I don't know, I'm feeling a little scared, why don't you start by asking yourself these questions? Question number 1, am I focusing too much on getting everything perfect instead of making steady progress? So where do you find there's kinks in the hose? Where do you find that you've sort of stopped your growth? Another question you can ask yourself is, do I feel overwhelmed by trying to meet impossible standards? Are you setting yourself up for failure because your standards are beyond what you can accomplish? Are you trying to meet standards that are impossible? And let me tell you, perfection is impossible. So is that feeling overwhelming? And if you are feeling overwhelmed, isn't that amazing, right? That's news telling you that maybe you need to take a step back. Are you celebrating small wins every day, or are you only focusing on what's left to do? Are you focusing on the gap, what you haven't accomplished, where you are not? Or are you focusing on the gains, the things that you've actually done, the things that are actually moving the needle forward, even in small ways? Those incremental steps are going to lead you to the top of the staircase. Another question you can ask yourself is, how do I react to mistakes? Okay. Is a mistake an opportunity for learning? Or are you beating yourself up? Is it a huge failure and you're not going to try again because you failed and now you suck and there's nothing that you can do? And are you modeling a healthy approach and progress for your children? How are you reacting to their mistakes? Is this an opportunity for them to learn from the mistake, to grow in new ways? Or are you perhaps belittling yourself, belittling your children, and really focusing on the mistake instead of what can be learned? So as we close out this episode, just a reminder, this progress truly is so much better than perfection. And by shifting your mindset in these small ways, you can create so much more balance. I know we talk about work-life balance. Having this mindset can really be that key factor that separates your stress and anxiety, your experience of burnout, with a more fulfilling life for yourself, for your family, more ease, more joy, and greater success in the long run. So I thank you so much for being here. I hope that you can implement some of this in your life. Ask yourself these questions. Remember these key benefits and these findings so that you can embrace progress over perfection. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. Please leave me a short and sweet review in Apple Podcasts and share it with a friend, someone who could benefit from this mindset of progress over perfection. And don't forget to check out the Juggle is Real Authentic Self-Care Planner to help you on your journey of progress over perfection right now at an exclusive limited time offer for our celebration of 100 episodes. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until the next time, take good care.